What's going on? Hello and welcome back to my channel. Yes, I'm finally doing my top songs of 2024. And even though my last two videos where I did the top, nope, never mind, because my last one got corrupted, so I couldn't upload it. But anyways, my 2022 one, I did my top 10, and last year I made a top 10 list, but it got corrupted, so I didn't upload it. Anyways, this year I'm doing top 25 because there was just so much music that I loved, and honestly, I just want to appreciate more music. It's going to be a little bit longer, of course, but personally, I'm okay with that. Whatever. Hope you five viewers are too, because yeah, there was so much good stuff. So anyways, I'll start with honorable mentions. Basically, you have all of the uh, GNX by Kendrick. You know, you could have picked just about any song on there, specifically Heart Part 6, Luther, Reincarnated, even Gloria, Man at the Garden, Thank God for Me from Blue Lips is definitely an honorable mention. Bodyguard by Beyonce, that was like the one song I like continuously listened to from Cowboy Carter. Hiss from Megan Thee Stallion, I actually really liked. I love from Yeet. Never would have thought in 2024 that I would say that a Yeet song could be in contention for one of my favorite songs, but I did listen to it a lot. A Cold Sunday by Lil Yachty. Um, what else? Either On or Off the Drugs by JPEG Mafia. I know it's crazy if you're a JPEG fan to leave that off, but I do have a different song that I just genuinely enjoy more from that project. Also, New Black History from JPEG Mafia featuring Vince Staples. Omnitrix by Joey Valence and Bray. You could also pick just about any song from any of Future's three projects that he released, specifically maybe What the Fuck You Mean, the final track from the first one from We Don't Trust You. Yeah, just so much that came out this year. So, anyways, let's just get into the top 25. At number 25, we have Above and Below from Riley Ritchie. He released a shorter project this year, technically like an in-betweener album. These were all kind of like leftovers from other works. Either, there's like a movie song in there, or a lot of these are just leftovers from his last album, and he had no place to put them. And Above and Below, I think, was the fan consensus for the best one. It's just really well done, and for a leftover, it definitely could have made the cut for one of his projects and have stuck out, because it is just really catchy, really good songwriting, and his production is really nice as well. At number 24, it is the single Men I Trust song to come out in 2024, and it is Husk. Of course, if you know me, Men I Trust has to be on this list, and this is just, of course, super smooth listen, super fun, super relaxing. I mean, this thing is it's just nice. It's just easy, nice listening, so that's why it ends up on here. Number 23 is No Name Man from Cask. If you know who Meat Canyon is, on YouTube, he released a short 5-song EP. People have been asking him to make music for so long because he does so well with his voices, and he really loves metal and just heavy rock music, and so he did that. And honestly, this song I think is just great. It's a great metal song, and I just revisited it constantly throughout the year once it came out. So yeah, that is why it had to end up on here. Number 22 is going to be Wow by D2X. I've talked about D2X previously on the channel, and I really just love his stuff. This was the song that really was just the most in your face, and is totally crazy if you listen to his first two projects to hear him doing something like this. But yeah, I just loved it. I love how braggadocious he is on this, and the production is super well done. And if you know who Joey Perp is, this is the same production that is on Joey Perp's song Morning Sex, and I think that D2X and the feature Chris Patrick both just absolutely kill this beat. Number 21 is Love Is Everywhere by Magdalena Bay. A lot of people's number one album of the year for like music enthusiasts who I follow, with Imaginal Disc. And while I did love the album, I unfortunately didn't do it its justice and really listen to it enough this year. There were just other projects that had my attention. But Love is Everywhere is easily my favorite song on the project. I do think it is fantastic, but this one is just so smooth. I was looking forward to it ever since the Lil Yachty project in 2023 came out. Let's Start Here, where he talked about how one of the songs, he just basically took the production from Magdalena Bay and made it his own. And so finally getting to hear that was so satisfying, and I think that they just did that song so much better, and I absolutely love it. The vocals are super infectious. It's a super catchy song, and it's super euphoric as well. Number 20, again, if you know me, you know Hollywood Undead is going to be on a list if they are releasing something, most likely. So number 20 is going to be Hollywood Forever. This is definitely a song that I don't expect most people to love as much as I did, but this song was definitely meant for the hardcore fans, the people who've been around for a long time. This is them giving their thanks to the fans for sticking with them over the years, through the rough patches and the great times as well. And all of the little hints and sort of like Easter eggs to previous songs, different interpolations that they do on the chorus and during the verses, I think is really satisfying. And just as a fan, it feels very fulfilling. And if this is what their next album is going to sound like, and it's going to be as heavy as this, I'm stoked for it. Number 19 is going to be Hijack from A$AP Rocky. Through his couple of singles that he released this year, it was actually really hard for me to choose. Ruby Rosary was also in contention. Taylor Swift is fantastic, but I think that Hijack has Rocky's best flow. It's probably him at just like his purely most satisfying. I absolutely love the flow that he hits on here. And I think that the feature, Jessica Pratt, is fantastic. And I recently heard that she makes great music too, so I'll have to check her out as well. But yeah, I love this song. There's something about it that just keeps bringing me back to it. Like I said, his flow is just super satisfying, and that is really what brings me in constantly to it. At number 18 is going to be Witchy by Kaytranada featuring Childish Gambino. I was really looking forward to the newest Kaytranada project, and while it didn't, unfortunately, really live up to my expectations, there were a couple songs on there that just really had me revisiting it a lot, and I think that for a lot of people, that was Witchy. People were waiting for Kaytranada to have Childish Gambino on one of his albums, and I think that this song alone was worth the wait. This is the stuff that people come to him for. Just a massive dance anthem, and yeah, I think that Childish Gambino does a fantastic job. His vocals have only gotten better as his career has gone on, and he works really well with Kaytranada. Number 17 is going to be from Billie Eilish. It is, I'm going to pronounce this wrong because it's in French, L'amour de ma vie, or vie, the love of my life. I know that's what it means. But yeah, I was really surprised to enjoy this new Billie Eilish project as much as I did, as I talked about in my short review of it. But this song is so unexpected from her. First of all, hearing her sing just with sort of her normal vocal timbre was really nice, not hearing her whisper throughout the whole project. But getting such a left field song like this from her is super refreshing, and just her true voice coming through is great. And I love the second half of this towards the end, like the last minute and a half, 2 minutes, where it gets sort of electronic and dancey. I think that's a great turn for the end of the song, and that's my favorite part because it's just, like I said, so different for her. And the whole song is just super catchy and had me coming back constantly to it. Coming from one of my favorite songwriters and just artists of all time is number 16. It's going to be Deb Never with Not in Love. This was her sole single release that she released in all of 2024, and I am just, even though it is called Not in Love, I am in love with this track. I think that it's very ethereal. It's definitely, of course, for her, it's a depressing song, as that is like most of what she makes, but just something about this really had me coming back to it, and just, I don't know, something very hypnotizing about it. It's very soothing. It's a very dark feeling. That's like the best way I can describe it. It feels like very nocturnal, and it feels almost like a night ride on a highway, and that's the best way I can describe it. Coming from another project I was surprised that I loved as much as I did this year is Clairo, her Charm album, and my favorite track, Terrapin. If I could just say what I love most about this song, it's the piano. The piano that comes in is so damn good, and it's so smooth. Just the licks that it hits throughout the whole thing, I absolutely loved it. And Terrapin is just, I think, the epitome of charm. It is the whole album just at its best. Her vocals are the best that they're at. The production's the best that it's at, and yeah, that's why I had to put it on here. It was the song from the project I revisit the most, as all of these are. That's why they're my favorites. These aren't 2024's best songs. That would be a very different list, but these are my personal favorites, and Terrapin was just so electric and so great. Also, from not also, because these two have no real relation to each other than them knowing each other, is Matt Champion with Aphid featuring Dijon at number 14. Yeah, I was really looking forward to the solo projects of all the Brockhampton members that were coming out this year, but I really think that Matt Champion knocked it out of the park with his lead single, Aphid, to his project Micah's Laundry. This is super catchy with Dijon on the hook. I really am not familiar with his work. I know that him and Matt are good friends, and I've heard other people say he makes very good music, but I think he really killed that on the chorus. I love the vocal filter that is affected on his voice, and I think that Matt really just does well. I wasn't sure what to expect from him after, Brockhampton departing from each other, but this just was perfect. I had this on repeat from the day that it came out, and just it'll stay in my rotation for a long time. Number 13 is going to be Daydreamin' from No Worries, Anderson .Paak and Knowledge. I had to pick one song from here. It was very difficult because there were so many good ones. But Daydreamin', I think, is just Anderson .Paak just at his smoothest. That chorus is so nice. The production from Knowledge just is absolutely spectacular. I mean, it really is just a wonder what the two of them brought out of each other on this whole album here with Wylod, and it's just so damn great. I mean, I don't really know what else I can say about this. I know a lot of people checked it out, and a lot of people agree, and that is what it is. At number 12, it's going to be Shame on the Devil from Vince Staples. While I did cover this, and I think I did say it is my favorite song, I was really surprised this was the one to really just hit me the way it did. I loved a lot of the songs from here. Etouffee and Black and Blue were great. Justin, even though it's a storytelling track, I really like that song a lot. Shame on the Devil, I think it's really the production. It just hit me in a sort of way that I just could not escape it, and it could not escape my mind either. Something about it, like the repetitiveness of it and just how droning it feels. Also, the very soft chorus with the filtered vocals really just stuck in my head a lot. That really got to me there, and I had that on repeat a lot. But on to number 11, it is I'll Be Right There from JPEG Mafia. As I have said to people, I'm not the biggest JPEG Mafia fan. I think that he does some great work, and he does some really interesting things in his music. He's just never been someone up until Scaring the Hoes with Danny Brown where I have really had my interest piqued all too much from him. He's got a couple songs here and there, but overall, nothing really draws me to listen to his music a lot until it came to this project. And honestly, I could have picked a lot of the songs, but I did just put, my top three, like with the honorable mentions with New Black History and Either On or Off the Drugs. But I'll Be Right There. Just, I don't know, something about it. It's the production is some of the most simple that is on the whole album, but I think that's what I love so much about it. I also love that
vocal line that he sampled, the actual "I'll be right there" that comes in and out. I think it has to be like a gospel sample because it sounds just like it would be, and for him that just fits. But yeah, this song really just kept a hold on me, especially when I listened to the album. This was one of the ones I really looked forward to getting to. I was like, I think it's only like the third track in, but I was like, ooh, I was itching it to hear this one. And, a couple times I would just like finish it and I would just like loop it right back. So I'm like, I got to hear that shit again. It's so good. Number 10, here we go. Top 10. These are the big hitters, but of course, a lot of these could have been switched around. But, anyways, top 10 big hitters. At number 10, big shock to me, but it is "Sympathy is a Knife" from Charlie XCX. Now I know Brat Summer, it rocked the world, and understandably so. I think Brat was a great album. Not one of my favorites, but it was great. And I was very much surprised, not really only hearing the hits from Charlie XCX, how much I would enjoy it, and how much I would honestly really enjoy the deep cuts. Not that this is a super deep cut, it's like the second song on the project, but yeah, this one I think was so underrated. This is really what I wanted more from when I was listening to Brat for the first time. I wanted this super abrasive, hard-hitting, heavy, hyper-pop sound. Unfortunately, it's not what I got. Maybe that contributed to why I don't love the project as much as I do. But either way, it is still great. Like I said, that heavy, hyper-pop sound, it's so abrasive. This is really what I wanted more of in 2024. Was songs like this. And I think the chorus is great. Charlie has some of her best vocals on the whole project. So yeah. At number 9, it's going to be "Tore Up" from Don Toliver. Is this the best song on Hearthstone Cycle? I don't know. Is it the one that I revisited the most? Without a freaking doubt. I really loved the metal guitar that was on here. I wish that there was more of that on Hearthstone Psycho. We did get a good bit, but I really wish, especially with the biker aesthetic, that we got a lot more from the project that sounded like this. It's short, it's sweet, but that's what I love about it. And just give me that guitar. I just need more of that, Don, please. Number 8, this one slipped in at the very end of the year because I was very late to this project. I think it came out maybe midway through the year, but I just hadn't gotten to it. It is "Darlin'" from Gene Dawson from his album "Glimmer of God." While I thought that this album was pretty decent, not the most cohesive one I would have hoped for from him, like his last album, but this song was so smooth. I mean, just the smooth bass guitar on here and the regular electric guitar were just insane. I mean, just absolutely crazy. Had me revisiting just this song so much. Like, I have played this song so much at the end of the year and already at the beginning of 2025, like crazy. I really was hoping we were getting like a full like blues or funk album from Gene when I heard this. Like, the first song, like this being the first song on the project is crazy. But either way, yeah, his vocals I think are at his best. It's so smooth. Like I said, just everything about this song is just smooth. It just has a very like 70s feel to it. It's very dark, very like smoky and hazy, nocturnal. I love it. Just cannot recommend this song enough. If even if like any of those words or genres I described is not your taste, just give it a shot. On the opposite end of the spectrum, we have at number 7, "The Baddest" by Joey Valence and Bray from their album "No Hands." These two guys, if you saw my short form review on them, I did do that on the New Day New Review, but I was surprised really to love this as much as I did. But there is nothing I can use to describe these guys more than just pure fun. I mean, it is just wall-to-wall fun. This whole project, I could have picked a myriad of songs. Like I said, Omnitrix was in contention to be on here and nearly made it. It really hurt to not put that one on here, but "The Baddest" is just the one that I have the most fun listening to. It's the one I'm most excited to hear when the project comes on, and it's the one I replay the most easily. Their chemistry, I think, is at its best on this one as well, and it's also maybe one of the funniest songs that they have, which is saying a lot because I think that, all their songs on this whole project are, filled with humor and just great jokes. But at number 6, we have People Need People by Joba, and this is from his self-titled album, Russell Boring. This was I think it was the second single to the project, and I really loved it. Revisited this song easily the most, even though I did really love this project. Wish it would have came out, honestly, earlier in the year, just to give it a lot more time to marinate with me. Even though it did crack my top 10, it probably maybe even could have made it higher if it just had a lot more time, because he did release that first single on YouTube before, kind of doing anything for a while. For a couple months, it just was silence. But anyways, People Need People is just a great song. I think this really shows Joba's artistic passion. He went to school for music, and I think you could just tell the vocal professionality that is on this is great. The vocals that he hits on here, like that falsetto, is really good on the chorus. And yeah, it's a very heartwarming song. It reminds me a lot of Elton John. That's a lot of what his project does for me. Is it reminds me of a young Elton John, and I just can't wait to see what he has next, because this song is fantastic. At number 5, the heavy hitters of the heavy hitters. At number 5, we have Blue Slides by Schoolboy Q from Blue Lips. This has to be maybe the most heartbreaking song on the project, but also one of the best written, one of the best produced. This song, as much as I loved a lot of the songs from the project, if I put my most played songs, you would have Thank God for Me, or Pig Feet, or maybe even Ohio, or Foe with Ab-Soul. This was the one that just really stuck with me, and when I was looking at Blue Slides, I'm like, I have to put a song on here in my top 25. Blue Slides was the only choice I could really do. It's one of those songs you listen to it and it's damn, it hits in a certain way. Just the emotions that you can tell, even though Schoolboy Q, he is straight up said how much he holds in his emotions. This is one of those ones where even when he's very stoic and has a stone face on, you can tell the emotions that he's feeling, and I think that comes across in this song really well, and just was one of my favorite things to hear from this year, period. At number 4, though, we have You Don't Know Me Like That from Quedeca, from his project Scrapyard that came out very early in the year. This one wasn't one that hit with me right away. A lot of Scrapyard, it took me, a couple listens to get into, besides some songs here and there. But once this song connected with me, I just revisited it like crazy. It's really the one true hyper pop song that's on the project, and I think it's super well done. I love the build in the song up until I think it's literally the drop is the last 15 seconds of the actual track, but something about that is so well done, and the whole song is so heartbreaking, just with this clearly sort of unrequited love, or this misunderstood love tale that is going on between it. And I love the vocal effect that's on Quedeca's voice, even though I do think he's getting much, much better with his vocals throughout the years. Just the vocal effect, which sort of also acts for hiding emotion, is really well done, and just the whole song is great. But yeah, this is my favorite song from this project easily. At number 3, we have my favorite song of the diss tracks that came out between Kendrick and Drake. My favorite diss track that came out this year, period, and it is Euphoria by Kendrick Lamar. This song is 6 minutes, just 6.5 minutes, just under, of pure bars. Every single line in this whole song means something. There is not a second of wasted opportunity. There is not a second of bullshit lines, of filler bars. Every single thing that Kendrick says means something in this. This was, I mean, I remember exactly where I was when I got the notification for this song coming out. I was at work and I was making a delivery and I was at one of the customers' stops and I asked to go to the bathroom, whatever. I'm in there. I wash my hands and my phone vibrates. And I check my phone and it says Euphoria, Kendrick Lamar. And I was like, no fucking way. And I remember just running back to my vehicle, getting in and just sitting there, just listening to it, my jaw dropping with every line. I mean, first of all, the production is great. The sample flip is fantastic, but just what Kendrick did lyrically on this is insane, and that's why it's here. It's the one I've revisited the most. It's got the most quotables from the whole beef, and it was my favorite. It's just so much fun. But like I said, you know, honorable mentions, you could have had any of the songs that Kendrick released from the beef. You could have had Like That. You could have had Not Like Us. You could have had Meet the Grams. Honestly, that song, as haunting as it was so good, like I said. But this song was the epitome of the beef. This is what I came to the beef for. This is what I looked forward to most from the battle, was tracks like this. Every bar means something. The production is so fire. There's nothing wasted during the entire event. At number 2, we have Nights Like This by Future and Metro Boomin from We Still Don't Trust You. Like I said, honorable mentions, you could have picked so many different songs between the 3 projects that Future released this year. But my favorite bag that Future gets into is his somber melodic bag. I think that is just when he shines the most, even though a lot of people visit him for his hard-hitting bangers. I love the softer stuff, the stuff like Solo, like Perky's Callin', like Nights Like This. This is easily, like, of this entire list of my top 25 songs, this was easily my most played. Once this song clicked, it would not escape my mind. I played it so damn much. My girlfriend, I know, is probably sick of hearing the song, but it's just great. There's nothing I can really say about this song. It is just some of my favorite production that came out of any of the 3 albums of Futures that came out, especially with the ones that Metro produced. And yeah, just the vocals that he hits during the chorus is so great. I almost wish this song was like 8 minutes long because I could listen to him for that long just on this track. But anyways, let's get into the number 1 spot on my top 25 songs of 2024. It is going to be No Other Place by Choke Cherry. Of all the songs that I have on here, this one is, if I had to describe it in one word, maybe 2 words, we'll hyphenate it, is hard-hitting. Choke Cherry is a new band that I found in 2022 or 2023. They had just released their first single, and I really liked it, and I've really liked everything they've released so far, but I really, really loved this song when it came out. It's so hard-hitting, it's so powerful, it's so vibrant, it's so in your face, with just everything about it, from the insane electric guitar, from the just abrasive drums that are on here, to the lead singer's vocal performance. Everything about this song is just perfect. I love this song, and that is why it's my number 1. It's insane. If you listen to it, I hope you can understand why it would be my number 1, because it's just great. Like, that's just all I can say about it. It's just great. and I would love to hear just more music from them in general. I hope that they get, with a little bit more time, they get a little bit faster with their output. I'm not trying to be greedy, but I'm just, they really just keep me on the edge of the seats there, because for a while their first couple singles were months apart from each other. But yeah, I really look forward from what is to come, because this song and this whole EP that came with it later on were just great to hear. Especially from females in this genre, you really just don't get anything quite like this. So yeah, that is going to be my top 25 songs of 2024. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that listening to me rant about these, you maybe pick a couple songs out here and there to listen to, if anything sparked your interest. I will put the link to the playlist for my top 25 in the description. So if you want to listen from top to bottom, you can. Maybe even throw it on shuffle, just see what you gravitate towards. But yeah, that is the video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.